All righty. Well, happy Monday. Welcome to week 5. And as we always do, we're going to start with some check-ins. So I want to hear how you're doing with your food consumption, getting through the buffer zone, what you chose to do, what you chose not to do, and how you're feeling about today. And before we actually do check-ins, have you guys all seen the video for today yet? Thumbs up? Cool. Okay. Linda, we're going to start with you because you were the first one on my screen. So what's going on?
Well, my slip up, but I wrote the conversation down after I did it, so I'll share that with y'all.
Okay.
Well, first we'll start. Water is good, fruit is good, changing it up. Vegetables are fine, always in a shake 99% of the time. Feeling pretty good. Over the weekend, the buffer zone, processed food, I don't even care, right? I don't do that anyways. I mean, I posted in Facebook my bacon, it's just bacon. It's not processed, it's uncured. And it was celery salt that was in it and bacon, right? So I figured that was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so other than that, I'm good. But there's two things that happened. First, yesterday is I wanted, I'm like, I'm not even hungry. Why do I want to eat? Because it's been a long period of time, Linda, that you haven't eaten. You should eat before fear. You get lightheaded, not feeling good, can't function. Okay, what should I have? I'll just have 5 macadamia nuts. So I go in there, grab a few macadamia nuts. So creamy, so crunchy, so salty. Oh, so good. Every one of them were so good. I'm going back for more. Why do you want more? Because I just want them. Ate more. Had another handful. And I thought, wait, stop. What is it really that I need? It was salt. It was salt. My body was craving the salt. Nothing less, nothing more. And I already have low sodium. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. I don't know. So now I'm very much aware of that. And so when I want salt, I just maybe should have something else or just keep to the 5 and see if that cures it. But maybe we could talk more about that. The next thing, and I'm going to share some dialogue with you.
So did you really think that was a slip up?
I ate a lot of them, Sally.
What's a lot mean? Give me a quantity.
I think like 3 handfuls, and they're so loaded with fat. I know fat is good for you, but it was not in moderation. It was overextended to, I think it was a more unhealthy level.
Did you eat the whole package?
No.
Were you able to walk away from it when you felt like you'd really had enough?
After the 3rd handful, when I caught
Okay.
myself, yeah.
Yeah, and so I will tell you, I love macadamia nuts, right? 9 times out of 10, like you, I'll grab 5 or 6 in a handful and that's it, I'm done. Every once in a while, I really want that salt and I'll eat about 3 handfuls of them. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
The worst thing in the world would be if you'd eaten the entire package and couldn't stop yourself.
No, I can stop myself.
Right.
So it was chocolate, that's a different story. But
so don't beat yourself up on that one. That one seems fine.
Well, then my husband, we talked briefly about the video. I said, oh my God, processed food, no caffeine, but buy coffee. But I want to do coffee throughout the buffer zone. And I did. That's the only thing. Drank it, enjoyed it, delicious. The first cup. The second cup, not so much. So I thought, oh, well, this is new. Maybe because there's no milk in it. But then I started thinking back. It's always the second cup that never tastes as good as that first sip in the morning. So 1 cup is plenty for me. Well, this morning, and here we go, he made me coffee. It was there when I got up. I can smell the aroma. And so the dialogue went a little bit like this. No caffeine, Linda. Throw it out. Devil. Oh, why waste it? It smells so good. Me. Just to sip. Okay, so just me, I'll just sip it. I walked into the kitchen, the coffee pot's on, hot coffee ready to go. I should have tea. I should have tea. I got my cup out. I put my almond milk in. Should have tea, should have tea. Walked over to the coffee pot and filled my cup up with coffee. And I took that sip and I drank the whole cup. And and then I thought, well, I need to figure out why I just did that. So when I deconstructed, it was, I felt very guilty for doing it because today was the first day I was supposed to do without. My emotion around it was warm. It has a comfort taste to it that's kind of roasted and fills me good, makes me feel good. And it's so satisfying. It's enjoyable. It's a little heavier than tea, but it's not delicious, right? It's good. I enjoyed it, but it was not delicious. So my note is in here, Linda, hide the coffee. So I picked up all the coffee and I buried it way in the pantry and back in my new shelves I have in there. And now he can't find the coffee.
So
But if he wants the coffee.
Yeah.
well, he's supposed to be doing this too. So
yeah, there's a product called Rasa, R-A-S-A. If you could check it out, see if it's Wild Fit friendly. It's like a tea, but it's really supposed to be a great replacement for coffee.
okay. And one of the things that I do, which Stan has tried, but he doesn't like it as much as I do, is when I want something that's hot, and maybe this is why Stan doesn't like it as well, actually, come to think of it. When I want something that's hot and is reminiscent of coffee, because he's never been a coffee drinker, he's always only been a tea drinker. I like rooibos tea.
What is it?
Rooibos, R-O-O-I-B-O-S.
I've never heard of it.
It's African. And I like to add some cinnamon, anise, and cardamom to it. And I love the stuff. I think it's great. And it's completely caffeine free.
Would you post that for me on Facebook, the little recipe you just said, and the kind of tea, and I'll look into getting some.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so what are you gonna do tomorrow morning?
I have Egyptian licorice tea in the house, so I'm just gonna have a cup of that. Make it super extra hot, and I might even put a dab of almond milk in it if I need to.
Okay, cool. And then make sure that are you buying loose teas or are you buying box tea?
The only loose tea I have is lavender tea. I don't want that in the morning.
So double check your box teas and make sure that they don't have any added sugar. We've been finding that a lot of them do.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Cool. So you learned from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're going to do tomorrow. I think you're in good shape. So, well, I know you didn't do anything about alcohol during the buffer zone, right?
No, I didn't. I don't have any. No, I'm good. I don't even need it. I don't even think about it. And honestly, Sally, when I have my 1 or 2 glasses of wine in the evening, which I kind of started but quit again, I wasn't sleeping well.
Yeah. Good
I want my
observation.
sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, sleep's super important. It's like the most important thing we can do. So cool.
It's the most important thing for me is a good night's sleep. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, good job.
Thanks.
I do want to mention, you said you're getting your vegetables mostly in shakes.
Well, yes, I make a shake, but it's huge. And it's when I might pour my shake out of the container, Sally, it's thicker than green soup. And so it's like a concentrate, right? And so throughout the day, I pour half of it in a cup and I put water in my other half, stir it up so I can suck it down. In the evening when we have vegetables, I do eat them.
Okay, good. Yeah. That's what I want to make sure that you're doing some chewing.
Yeah.
And because you're getting a lot of it in shakes, you know, kind of saliva it in your mouth a little bit, so the digestion gets going.
Yeah. I did that today. I remembered how important that is. And today when I made my smoothie, it was thick. It was almost like applesauce, right? I put a lot less water just so I could put it in my mouth, chew it up a little bit, and then swallow without just sucking it down. Yeah.
Good. All righty. I'm just going across my screen. So Stan, you're up next.
Good morning. Good afternoon. It still feels like morning. Breathing and water are okay. The buffer zone, I decided to kind of take a middle course, not start right away, but also not load up on the stuff that I was going to be giving up. So Saturday, I had some wine, and I also, well, in the evening, I'm telling that backwards. Saturday morning, I had my normal tea, which is caffeinated. It's black tea. And then in the afternoon, some Diet Coke, and in the evening, some wine. And yesterday, Sunday, I had no caffeinated tea and only one glass of Diet Coke and then some wine in the evening. And this morning I saw that the 2-liter bottle of Diet Coke was not empty, so I poured out what was left because I'm not having that for at least 9 more weeks, and it wouldn't be very good after that time. So I'm actually looking forward to the idea of giving up caffeine and alcohol, because I have a lot of trouble sleeping routinely, and I think giving both of those up can only help. But I want to see it. I mean, I don't just want to theorize about it. So that part's good. The artificial ingredient stuff, that's a little bit more of an adjustment, but I'm already reading labels, so I just have to rule out more stuff now. Fruit's doing well. I hit Walmart late last week and got some more variety. So I've now got pineapple and kiwi and 2 kinds of berries and apples and peaches and bananas. And so I don't actually have to have the same thing every morning, because there's more things there than I could put into one fruit bowl. I wanted to, something Linda said really struck me, because it's a problem I have too. And that is where the food devil says, have something, and then the only real reason is because I want it. And that seems to be like a clinching argument. And I'm wondering what would be a good technique to kind of shut that off, because it sort of seems like I'm depending on willpower, and we know that willpower is not a good long-term strategy.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thought around that. And my initial thoughts are, first of all, really paying attention to what I want it means, right? Because it means different things in different contexts. And for Linda, what she really wanted was, she was craving salt, which was a legitimate craving. Even if you are nutritionally otherwise full and you're craving something that is actually good for you, there's likely a reason for that. So giving into that is not necessarily a bad thing. And one of the things that you guys will find as we get to the end of this, which has been an absolute joy for me personally, is it's okay to have your weight fluctuate by a couple of pounds. It's not a disaster. And overeating on something one day doesn't mean that you're going to do that every day. It means that you've made a choice, and if the choice that you're making, Stan, is that you're going to have that thing because you want it, still pay attention to how you feel with the first bite, second, third, fourth, fifth, how you feel a little bit later. Did eating it satisfy, I want it or not? And really pay attention to that stuff. And that's how you're making mindful choices. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. Thanks. I guess I think in particular, and you mentioned nuts, and I have really been kind of craving those. I'm not eating stuff we're not supposed to eat, but I'm kind of overdoing the quantities of stuff we are supposed to eat. I think maybe the thing for me to do is actually try having a little bit of salt, just salt. I mean, with water, but instead of trying to get it with something else, especially something that's really nutritionally dense, and maybe put a little more salt on my food than I have been doing.
That's what I was going to suggest. I have found that since I really upped my quantity of leafy greens, I need a lot more salt than I ever did previously. So
Okay.
I have a tendency to almost oversalt things. by most
Gotcha.
comparisons. So yeah, add some more pink salt to your food. It's absolutely good for you. There's no problem there. One of the articles that I read not too long ago really honed in on the fact that all of this emphasis on being, low sodium, salt free, all that stuff in terms of hypertension is really not true. Now, if what you're eating is, what we call conventional table salt, and you're using that in large quantities, yeah, that's not great, but not great for a whole bunch of other reasons as well. But pink Himalayan rock salt, haven't had any issues with it at all.
Well, and I mean, I knew about the hypertension connection, didn't know about the thing you said just a minute ago, but I've really never been much concerned about that because my blood pressure is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel free to put as much salt on something as I want, and it doesn't seem to have a deleterious effect on blood pressure. But I think that may be what was going on with the nuts for me too, because I was doing the same thing that you guys talked about, you and Linda both, where I'd have some and then go back and have more, and it's like that's not good.
Well, and I'll say the same thing. If you're having several handfuls and you're able to eventually put the package away and have had enough, it's not a problem. If you're eating a pound of macadamia nuts that are sitting, that's probably a problem.
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing that, but it's kind of. I just heard my grandmother's voice say, "You'll spoil your dinner," but that actually does happen. It means that by loading up on nuts, I don't have enough of an appetite really to have supper, which would have been greens and other things that were important. So I think trying the salt is a really good thing, and that's what I'll try next.
So one of my go-tos when I'm really craving salt, and it's like the middle of the afternoon, is I like salted radishes and I like salted cucumber sticks. They make a good carrier for salt, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, I'll give those a shot.
So that might help. And then the other thing that I would say is spoiling your appetite, as our grandmother used to say, is not as big a deal as it was. I mean, it really isn't a big deal at all, actually, right? I mean, if what you're eating is 97.8% good stuff, if you skip having your leafy greens with dinner one night because you ate too much in the afternoon, that's not something you're going to make a habit of. It's a choice that you made that day.
Okay.
So, and then the next day, when you're craving a bunch of macadamia nuts or whatever, a bunch of nuts or whatever, you'll remember, oh, I don't want to eat quite as many because I really do want to have my dinner at night.
Right.
That's the whole learning process.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Good job. Jeanette, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
So what's going on in your world?
What's going on in my world? So first of all, I feel awesome.
Cool.
I really do. I feel sick. My energy levels were off the charts yesterday. So I felt really good. So yesterday was Sunday. I did sleep a lot Saturday just because I've been going so hard and so fast, working like 8 in the morning till 11 at night. So I slept, but I'm feeling really, really good. I knew today I was not going to have coffee. So I gave myself an extra 30 minutes of sleep time to see if that made a difference. Woke up, I did, just between being well rested and feeling good, I didn't feel the need for coffee, which surprised me. And I did not get a headache, which surprised me. But I only do 1 cup. So one really good kick-ass cup. So I will tell you that on Sunday, I nursed that like it was my last drink on earth. I did. And I will go ahead and tell you that I put sugar in it. And I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm like, this is the last one I'm going to have for God knows how long. And I only put, I think, a half a teaspoon in my mug. But I'm like, this is it. We're going to make it count because we're saying goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Water's great. Fruit. The fruit is amazing because I put my Vitamix together. This morning I had a full plum, a full peach, a full kiwi with skins, a handful of fresh blueberries, a handful of black cherries that I froze, all organic, and a banana. And that was my breakfast. And that's freaking awesome. When you think of all the fruit, if I, normally I would get maybe one piece of fruit in the morning with my cup of coffee and out the door. So love that. Alka-Geyser's pretty much my lunch, along with a green salad and chickpea salad. I was looking online to see if chickpeas were a problem. Chickpea's not a problem. It's a pea, not a grain, right? Is it junk starch?
Well, we'll be coming to legumes and beans eventually.
Okay.
We'll
But right now I can have chickpeas, right?
I'm sorry?
Right
For
now
now.
I can have chickpeas. Right now I can have hummus.
Yep.
Okay. Processed, not a problem. I gave up processed when I went through cancer treatment. Wine, I did have a glass of wine on Friday to toast my son's new job. And that's it. So I did watch the show today, or the
It feels
video.
like a show.
Yeah. I watched it. And, Friday night I went out to Jake's and I ordered steak with grilled vegetables, light on the seasoning, light on the oils, just lightly frightened them is how I described it. And she laughed. And then I got, they all think I'm crazy. So what's the point? And then cauliflower rice, lightly steamed, no butters, none of that. And my kids and my husband looked at me and I went, well, do you want me healthy or do you want me dead? and they just kind of went, yes, ma'am, not a problem. And the waitress was very nice and we made sure we tipped her, but it was funny because today's class, today's few minutes with Eric saying, you don't want to be that person. I was very polite. I was very nice and said, it's just really important, please. She said, not a problem. So that's the first time I've been that picky on a meal ever in my life. And then the last thing was, again, this morning as I was getting ready, I had the TV on watching the news and they had a Weight Watchers commercial about losing weight. And I was utterly disgusted at the marketing, and I heard that continuously eating but nutritionally starving. It looked at all the starch and the salt and the crap. And, it's not about the weight, it's about feeling good and feeling better. And I even went for a walk because I felt so good this morning before I got my routine, which is not something I typically have time for. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just the old adage, success breeds success. I'm feeling better, so I'm doing more, which makes me feel better, which makes me do more. So that's it.
Amazing, awesome, well done. And I will share, you're like on the same trajectory that I was on. I noticed the same things. My energy level came up. I started walking. I had like all this energy. For me to have energy that lasted well after dinner, instead of hitting a wall at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I get tired and I go to bed, but that's different from being out of energy and unable to focus and all that other stuff that just made me feel drained. So,
and it's not just a physical energy, it's a mental energy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that was it. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I could no longer think effectively, and focus and do things I've still got stuff done, but it was not nearly as effective. And this is the big deal difference for me personally, has been having that energy level. And I'm willing to be that person. Right. One of the things that I've done in restaurants periodically, I did it at Veritas one night. I gave Danica a list of the things that I did not want to show up in my meal. And I said, just give Josh this list. Don't give me any of this stuff, and whatever else he wants to give me, I'm fine with.
Right. I think
Let him
here in California, people are very considerate of food restrictions from either allergies or illness or just chosen diets. But like in the Southeast, when I go to visit my parents, I know that this will be an issue. You get coma-inducing sweet tea. It's like diabetic in a glass.
Yeah.
It's but that's okay. I'll be more prepared for that. I've got to figure that out at some point in time. But yeah, and it's funny, like this boost of energy came after the nice sleep, the solid, I will tell you, I slept for 12 hours, but again, I was just exhausted. And I wrote an offer, and I know 3 of you are agents, and I'm a little proud. I'm a little proud when it comes to my offers. They're pretty tight and clean. And one of the other agents who I wrote an offer for gave me the offer and said, Jeanette, could you review this? I'm like, oh my God, this is such sloppy work. Oh, that's my offer. because I was just pushing myself so hard, and not paying attention to the sleep. And you know, I had to clean up my own offer, which was embarrassing. But
I can understand that.
but I finally think that I've kind of just, I can just tell in the last 2 to 3 days, my just getting good sleeping and eating well, I feel phenomenal.
Excellent, excellent. The next thing I would say, and I mean, this was the very first thing that I ever started working on for myself, was sleep is, next to nutrition, the most important thing.
Yeah.
Quality of sleep, quantity of sleep. I did it backwards before I understood what nutrition really meant for me. I started working on my sleep first, and that was what allowed me to keep going more effectively when I wasn't eating as well as I do now, for sure. So cool. Sounds like you were on the right track, doing all the right stuff. Excellent. Excellent. All righty. Dana, what's going on with you?
Unmute's not working. Well, I drank coffee all weekend because I knew I couldn't have any, but I don't add anything to my coffee. I drink it black. I really do like black coffee. So this morning, Alan, like normal, poured me a cup of coffee. And I think it was yesterday afternoon, he goes, "Your whole diet thing's just too hard for me to fix meals." I said, all right. And I was talking with someone, and he's got prostate cancer, and he switched to eating millet instead of rice, which is a seed. So we tried that last night. Alan didn't like it. He didn't like the other little seed either. So, and yet the quinoa. But so he had a baked potato while I had quinoa. But he was cutting up his antelope, so we took the really tough shanks and put them in Instapot and made a nice curry sauce with some chicken broth and curry, onions, garlic, and it made it super tender, which normally that cut of meat's super, super tough. And it was really good. And it was really good over the quinoa.
So that was antelope curry?
Antelope, yeah.
Cool. That sounds good.
It was really good. It was good enough that Alan is saving the shanks off the deer now.
Oh, wow.
Which he normally just grinds up for hamburger.
Gotcha. Cool.
So he liked it.
So how's the alcohol thing for you?
Well, I've gone on alcohol-free things for a while, but when I went to Mom's, I go to Mom's and she's got ladders out. I don't know what she did with the brand new smoke alarm I just put up, but it was missing, so I got another one out. But when I get to her house, she always just poured a glass of wine for me, so that's going to be, she won't remember why. So it's just, I just won't drink it. But I finished my box of wine that I usually drink Friday night, and then we had some friends over, so I opened a bottle of wine, and then last night I just had the glass of wine at Mom's.
Cool.
So it'll be fine. She won't remember why.
Yeah, and well, I mean, she won't remember either, let alone why.
No.
So yeah, you are going to just have to face not drinking it.
Yep.
Because I know you can't say, even if you say it every day, she's not going to remember.
No. Just like she can't remember I changed the smoke alarms and threw the smoke alarm away. Well, I don't need it. Yeah, you need a smoke alarm. Not when you need.
It actually occurred to me yesterday that I don't have any smoke alarms installed in my house, because all the old ones came down in the remodel and I haven't put new ones up yet.
There's no hurry until you're ready to sell.
Well, provided I don't set the house on fire.
Yeah, she doesn't have the dogs now.
Yeah, nobody's going to alert me. I can't imagine.
Cat's not.
Nobody's going to alert me. Yeah, that doesn't seem likely. Cool. While you were gone, I had checked in with everybody else, Dana, who has seen the video already. Have you seen the video for today yet?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
The processed foods things isn't hard for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been substituting stuff out and it's been working. So it's just harder. The more things you take away, the harder it's getting.
Well, and that's one of the interesting points that I really wanted to hit on from today's video, because what everybody's focused on right now is everything that we're taking away. And, you know, that seems like we're narrowing the scope of what you can actually eat. But the reality is that you just have to do some re-education about what it is that you should be eating, what it is that you really want to be eating. And once you get over the fact that the stuff has been taken away, now some of it you may decide you want to put back, but there are many that you probably won't, you know, because you'll really start to pay attention, and you've been doing that, to how it makes you feel. And right now, one of the things that Eric said in the video is most of your food preparation and education has been bought and paid for by the people that are selling it. So it's kind of really
Can you mute, because I can't hear you, Kelly. There's some background noise.
There we go. So, you know, right now, most of your food education has been from, you know, bought and paid for by the people who are selling the food. And it's really time to make your food and your health your own responsibility, which is what we're doing here. That's what we're all working on. So it really does get easier. You know, we have done so much already in just a really short period of time. You know, first we added in a lot of the good stuff, the water, the air, the fruits, the vegetables, all that kind of cool stuff. And, you know, that's just upping the nutrition level that makes it easier, boost your immune system, makes it easier to not have cravings long term. I mean, this is all the good stuff. And we've taken out, I mean, just listen to the list of things that we've taken out so far, and really ask yourself if truly, from a health perspective, any of that you really want in your system. We've taken out refined sugar. We've taken out the carby junk sugars. We've taken out processed foods, alcohol, and caffeine. For you guys, tobacco didn't matter because nobody had that anyway. And you're not really going to see the effects yet from the alcohol and caffeine for a few more days. But my prediction is that you will all start having better quality sleep than you have been having, you know, as a result of getting rid of the caffeine and the alcohol. So I can't wait to hear about that on Friday. And let's see, I know Stan's never smoked. Have you guys, ladies, have you smoked ever? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah. In college.
Right. So how about you, Jeanette?
Never smoked, but raised with a lifetime smoker as a
Okay.
parent.
Yeah. How about you, Linda? Yeah. So, and I smoked for 43 years, and my
For
mom,
years.
how many?
For years. I started at 14.
I started at 8.
Yeah, there you go. And then it was on and off, quit a few times for 7, 8 years, and I'd start again. It's horrible addiction.
Until you're done with it. And then you're done. And then you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I smoked for 43 years, and every time somebody would say to me, why don't you quit? My answer was always, why would I stop doing something I enjoy and I'm really good at? But Eric pointed out, and I finally decided I didn't enjoy it and I didn't need to be good at it anymore. Eric pointed out in the video today that the thing that resonates for us mostly with smoking is the calming effect of getting that first deep breath in. So I'm going to remind you all again, you don't need to go fake smoke because we've got breathing exercises, but let's stay on top of the breathing exercises. Let's make sure that we're using that as a way when something jumps up and says, oh, I just want it. Linda?
That so resonated with me because I went right back to lighting it and going, oh, shit.
Yep.
And the same thing happened when I quit. I was sucking on doTERRA's pure peppermint oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the, I want. So Yeah, that was, I wish someone would have taught me that when I was 14.
Yeah, exactly. Right near the end, one of the things that he said that really resonated with me, and I know certainly for Linda and Dana, I'm sure that this did as well. Western world doesn't have a healthcare problem; it has a self-care problem, and we're now a month into proper self-care, which is pretty awesome. You know, we've cleaned up a lot of stuff. We've made a lot of progress. So this is, you know, this is going to be the week going through for you guys. Probably not as difficult as it is for some of the other groups. You know, often there's a lot of processed food that has to come out, and that just seems like such a thing. But I know you guys are not big processed food eaters as compared to the average American, certainly. But the caffeine might be a bit of a struggle as we get through a couple of days of this. The alcohol might be, you know, calling. So we'll just see how that goes. And keep in mind, every time the food devil jumps up and says, oh, let's just have that. Let's put a little sugar in our coffee. Let's have another handful of macadamia nuts. You know, let's do whatever that's going to be. Your answer can be, not this time. And even if that's only for a few minutes, right? Just take that break. Give yourself the opportunity to really think about it before you move forward. And of course, don't beat yourself up if you do have a slip. It's a slip. Learn from it. That's what we're here to do. It's all about learning. So Linda says, can we have pickles? Read the label. 99% no, there's about 1% that works. Okay. And so you're looking for two things on those labels now, Linda, not just the sugar, but the unpronounceable chemical names that mean preservatives and other crap that we don't want to be eating. But I have found one or two kinds that are actually okay. You can also make your own, not difficult. No, you can't. You're going to learn to cook, I promise. You really will. You'll do it defensively, if nothing else. Jeanette, you posted, it's forcing me to use vegetables that I've ignored. What was that in relation to? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
There's, you know, I get in a rush. I get blinders on. You buy the same standard foods, and there's been a lot that I've overlooked to include fruit. You know, so like kiwis. Totally forgot about kiwis, and now I'm having a kiwi a day. Celery, totally forgot celery because to me celery is tasteless, but it's great to use with instead of bread, like lettuce would. You know. So, and I'm putting it in my my smoothie, obviously. But it's making me remember that there are other vegetables out there that I just haven't paid attention to for whatever reason, either habit or I don't know. But and when we were talking, you were talking about looking up the teas. Is it a box tea or loose tea? And I thought, I use Celestial Seasonings tea. Those are supposed to be the best. I looked up Tension Tamer, quote unquote, natural flavors.
Wow.
Which means that it's got something that's not natural, right? So I was pretty surprised that Celestial Teas out of Colorado did that. So
Kraft bought them a few years back.
Yeah. I went to their room probably, or their building like 8 years ago where they actually make the teas. Oh my gosh, fantastic. But yeah.
Where are they located?
It was probably in Boulder or Denver. I can't remember. It's in Colorado, but yeah, at any rate, yeah. I was surprised to see that because they're supposed to be natural, antioxidant, you know, boosting, and yeah, it had natural flavors.
Yeah,
listed in the ingredients.
Yeah, well, and that's because, you know, it's a sales business. I mean, you know, they want to sell the stuff, and they've managed to they have managed to convince most of the country that natural flavorings means it's okay when it's really not. You know, it's kind of scary what the food industry has really done in all their marketing and the effect that it's had on our overall health. I know I've been, for years, I've been whole food, mostly plant-based, and people just seem to think that that's nuts. You know, I don't buy stuff in packages. Very little, you know, very few things that come in packages. And every time I look at a package, I'm kind of horrified by what it says. So, yeah. So Linda says, you've tried all kinds of stuff. Oh, and vegetables as well. Recipe for seed crackers. Try Googling for one. I don't have one yet. I haven't made them. So ask Google. Google knows everything. Google knows more than I do. Pretty sure. It might be possible.
And they even know where you live.
That's true. It is absolutely true. All righty, cool. I'm feeling pretty complete. How are you guys feeling? Further
Good.
thoughts, comments, questions?
The more recipes everybody can share would be great. I've been trying with these chips. So today I used melted coconut oil, mixed it all in there, and then I tried putting it in a pan to fry them. I really think the roasting method in the Instapot or Ninja, whatever you have, is the best bet, and then broil for a minute or two afterwards.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. How thin are you making them?
Thin. I have my KitchenAid has that blade on there, which is, it's round that you plug in, and it's a long blade. So when you put the sweet potato in, it's super, super thin, like a potato chip. And
Cool.
they look like potato chips, you
Good.
know, when it comes out. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
one big, and I actually have been using yams. I like yams better. And one big one that lasts like for 3 days.
So are you eating it mostly as a snack or more as a vegetable?
I'm eating it more of the snack with the guacamole. Oh, delicious. Yeah, I don't look at it really so much as a vegetable. I look at something that's going to hold me, give me energy, and is healthy.
All right, with some almond butter.
I will when next time I get almond butter.
You could make it.
Yeah, the thing is I'm actually allergic to the skin of almonds, so I have to have them blanched.
Well, you can
And
do
those are
that.
really expensive. Yeah.
It's not hard to blanch almonds.
I don't know how to do it. Soak them until the peels come off.
No, you put them in a pot of boiling water for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then they just kind of squirt off.
Yeah, and then they just squirt off.
I didn't know that. Very cool. Thanks for the tip.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
You have squirt almond fights.
You want some satisfaction? Just blanch almonds.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's really interesting to discover just how easy it is to get back to much more natural food than the food industry has led us to believe is possible. I mean, the truth is, it takes much less effort to blanch almonds than it does to go to a store and find blanched almonds.
Right. Agreed.
And it's much less expensive as well. So there's all of that kind of stuff. How about you, Jeanette? Final comments, thoughts, concerns? Cool. Stan?
No, I think I said them all. I think that's it.
Good. Good for you. Well done. How about you, Stan? Are you feeling complete?
Pretty much, yeah. I was just reflecting on how different my fridge looks from the way it did a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole left section is vegetables and the whole right section is fruits. And there's not even iced tea in there anymore.
And how does that make you feel?
It varies. You know, I think there's a tremendous amount of stuff I've eaten by habit. And so this is a good way of getting out of those habits and starting fresh.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent. How about you, Dana? Final thoughts?
I'm doing good. Alan's not really liking the changes, but he says he's on board with me making my own changes. Just don't make him do it.
Well, and you know, the truth is, as we well know, it's lead by example, right? So get a few more weeks into it when you really start seeing the changes that you're going through rather than just what you're eating. You know, when he starts to see the difference in how you look and how you feel and as your energy is all that stuff, that could be an entirely different take for him at that point.
I think he's oblivious to it.
That's entirely possible. I do know the man. So cool.
It's good though.
Good. I'm really glad. One final thought that I had to share today is I love to eat salad. I hate to have to chop stuff up for every single salad. So what I've started doing is, I bought the $30 slicer spiralizer at Costco, the Cuisinart, and every couple of days I'm just, cutting up a whole bunch of veggies in that and putting them in, storage containers in the fridge. So all I got to do is get out the containers, dump all the stuff in a bowl, and I'm ready to go, which has made it like 1,000 times easier because sometimes what happens for me is, oh, I want a salad. Yeah, I don't really have 15 minutes to chop stuff up right now. So just a thought, if that might be helpful for you guys.
Yeah, I have it was a wedding gift. I don't even remember who gave it to us, but it's got the bowls of all the different kinds of things for the salad because everything rots at a different rate. So I don't like to mix it in the salad bowl.
Right.
So if you put them all in separate containers, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and especially like tomatoes, you can't pre-chop tomatoes, period.
Mm-mm.
They're just nasty in a hurry. And boy, am I getting really familiar with the difference between store-bought tomatoes and what comes out of my garden.
Mm-hmm.
I bought store-bought tomatoes the other day because I was out of ripe tomatoes ready to go. And I'm like, oh, these are kind of mealy and nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. All right. I want to thank you once again, guys. I'm going to encourage, Jeanette, please.
I was surprised this morning. I made a note, I forgot to say it, this morning when he said, welcome to week 5. I'm like, really? That kind of surprised me. I don't know about the rest of you, but it seems like it's flown by.
That's good to hear. How about for you guys? Do you feel like it's dragging or flying?
No, it's a good pace.
Cool. Cool. All righty. So yes, I do want to thank you again for showing up. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody's super hard work. You guys are all doing great. We'll just keep up the good work. We'll be back here again on Friday. I'm really going to be interested in hearing how the no caffeine, no alcohol week went for everybody. And remember, if you do develop a headache like tomorrow or the next day, catch that as soon as it happens. Start doing the breathing. Like as soon as you start to notice anything, don't let it develop. But it sounds like you guys are going to be fine. So that's what we're going to hope for.
Okay. Thanks, Sally.
Thank you guys. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you Friday.
You too. Bye.